Today in algebra class, we are learning all about rates, ratios, and proportions. This video here, lesson 31 in Sex and Math, will go through each of those different categories, rates, ratios, and proportions. But today I want to specifically focus on unit rates. So we're going to look at C.3 in our Algebra 1 skills in IXL and take on unit rates. Here I've clicked on Learn with an example to see what one of these problems looks like and how you go about solving it. The whole idea behind solving with a unit rate is that you want to get the second amount as a single unit. So in this case, it says find the unit rate when you've got 40 books in 5 boxes. As in, how many books are you going to have per box, per one box? So you're trying to get that second unit to a value of 1. Well, how do you go about doing that? You actually divide the larger number, in this case, by the smaller number, or divide whatever value is given here by the subcategory in the second portion. So in this case, it's 40 books in 5 boxes. You're dividing 40 by 5 to find 8. Their unit rate then is going to be 8 books in 1 box. There's where that value of 1 comes, because you're finding that unit of how many are in that last item. Let's go to our practice. For example, find the unit rate of 26 deliveries in 2 hours. We're trying to find how many deliveries you make per hour, so you're going to divide. In this case, you would say 26 divided by 2 and get an answer of 13 deliveries per hour. Find the unit rate, 12 stamps on 2 sheets. If you're buying stamps, you want to know how much it costs, or you want to know how many that you get per sheet. In this case, it's 12 divided by 2. That's going to be 6 stamps per sheet. Find the unit rate, 24 chairs at 2 tables. How many chairs are at each table? You take the large number divided by the unit that it would be divided into. 24 divided by 2 is going to give you 12. You got 48 plants, and you've got to plant them in 3 rows. How many plants are you going to put in 3 rows if you had to break those down evenly? In this case, you're going to do the same exact thing. You'll see that there's a pattern here, and I promise that this is going to get a little bit more complex. You take 48 divided by 3 is 16. Find the unit rate of 72 divided by 4 is 18. 18 apartments on 2 floors. 18 divided by 2 is 9. 72 liters in 4 minutes. If you were consuming something, 72 divided by 4 is 18. 864 sit-ups in 8 days. How many sit-ups did you do per day? 864 divided by 8 is 108 sit-ups per day. 585 kilometers in 3 days. Take the first number, 585 divided by 3, get 195. So again, to find a unit rate, you're taking the larger value, which is the first value in your unit rate. A rate has 2 values in it. The kilometers and days, you're comparing these 2 items, and you're going to divide that large number by the smaller number by that second value to get a unit of 1. We're going to jump ahead to the next level to where you actually have to go about solving something that's a little bit more complex. For example, 5,530 kilometers in 158 hours. So this becomes a larger division problem. 5,530 divided by 158 equals 35 kilometers per hour. And you can see that that pattern continues. As you go, they get a little bit more complex. 8,700 kilometers in 100 hours divided by 100 equals 87. And the last level is actually going to ask you to apply what you've learned by solving a word problem. So here's an example. Sophie's birthday party will cost $12 if she invites 6 guests. Say they're going somewhere, and it obviously is an admission price. You got to pay to get in. If there are 17 guests, how much will Sophie's birthday party cost? Well, how could you know if you don't know what the cost is per ticket? Well, right here you're given this unit rate problem, $12 per 6 people. How much will it cost for 17 people? So if you take the 12 and divide by 6, you know how much it costs per person. If you know what the unit rate is per person, then you can figure out how much it is per 17 people. So you would take this number right here, 12 divided by 6. 12 divided by 6 is going to give you 2. That means it costs $2 per person wherever they're going. If there are 17 guests, how much will Sophie's birthday party cost? You take that unit rate, 12 divided by 6 gets you 2. 2 times 17 is going to give you to a total of $34. Brenna took a total of 32 quizzes over the courses of 8 weeks. After attending 10 weeks of school this quarter, how many quizzes will Brenna have taken? So take the information that you know, find the unit rate, and then apply that unit rate to the new set of time that you're given. In this case, 32 quizzes over 8 weeks. You're going to take 32 and divide by 8. 32 divided by 8 is 4. So that's 4 quizzes per week. I'm using those same rates. Quizzes per week. 4 quizzes per week. Now she's been there for 10 weeks. I take that unit rate of 4 and multiply by 10. 4 times 10 is 40. Sasha prepared 20 kilograms of dough after working 2 hours. How many hours did Sasha work if she prepared 100 kilograms of dough? So you got 20 kilograms in 2 hours. Make that a unit rate by dividing 20 divided by 2. 10 kilograms per hour. How many hours did Sasha work if she prepared 100 kilograms? Well, then you take 100 and divide by 10, and that's going to give you 10 hours. Sally knit a total of 30 centimeters of scarf over 6 nights. How many nights will Sally have to spend knitting in order to knit a total of 60 centimeters of scarf? 30 centimeters over 6 nights, find your unit rates. You're going to take 30 and divide by 6. She can do 5 centimeters per night. And then if it has 60 centimeters, you're going to take 60 and divide by 5. It would take her 12 nights. Derek cycled a total of 63 kilometers by making 9 trips. How many trips will Derek have to make to cycle a total of 77 kilometers? So here you want to take 63 and divide by 9 to find your unit rate. You're going to get 7 kilometers per trip. And if he wants to go a total of 77 kilometers, you're going to take 77 and divide by 7. You would get 11. So you'll see here that in some of these word problems you have to multiply, and other ones you have to divide. It all depends on what they're asking you to solve for. In this case, when they're solving for the first of those 2 units, then you're going to divide. When they're solving for the second, a lot of times you might have to multiply. While working at the drugstore one summer, Cameron earned $4,237 over the course of 223 hours. How many hours will it take Cameron to earn $7,125? So you would take and find the unit rate, 4,237 divided by 223 to find out that he makes $19 per hour. Okay? If he makes $19 per hour, then you're going to take that and divide it by 7,125 to see how many hours it would take him to earn that much money. So 7,125 divided by 19 is going to take him 375 hours to make that much money. Devin baked 77 cookies with 7 scoops of flour. How many scoops of flour does Devin need to order to bake 154 cookies? Solve by using unit rates. In this case, you're going to take 77 divided by 7, and you get 11 cookies per 1 scoop. And then it says, how many scoops of flour does Devin need in order to bake 154 cookies? So I would take 154 and divide by 11. I would get 14. Here, Trevor read a total of 105 books over 15 months. If Trevor has read 112 books so far, how many months has he been with his book club? Solve by using unit rates. So this one's set up in a little different way. We're still going to go about solving that unit rate to start. 105 books in 15 months. So 105 divided by 15. That means he reads 7 books per month. If Trevor has read 112 books so far, how many months has he been with the book club? So you take 112, divide by 7, and you're going to find that he's been with the book club for 16 months. Okay? This will be the last one. Christine's retirement party will cost $750 if she invites 30 guests. What's the maximum number of guests that she can have or she can afford to spend $1,325 on her retirement party? Solved by using unit rates. So we want to find out how much it costs per guest and then go up to the top of her budget, which is $1,325. So you take 750, you're going to divide by 30, It costs $25 per guest. If she can spend a total of $1,325, then we're going to take that and divide by 25. She can have a maximum of 53 guests at her party. Okay? Again, to find unit rate, you're going to take that first unit, divide by the second unit to break that down. And then if it's asking you to solve for a certain amount, then you have to decide if it's appropriate to take that unit rate and divide, or take that unit rate and multiply to figure out what the question is looking for. God's blessings.